Lawrence Hawkins, Mr. Eric Hawkins, out of the New Jersey area. Again, 2-star director on the way to 3-star director maker. Mr. Hawkins, how you doing this evening?
Mr. Bradley, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How did you enjoy this weekend in Atlanta?
It was absolutely amazing. I'm actually still here. I'm looking for a place. Don't want to leave. The energy was amazing. I mean, that was exactly what you said. It was a convention-like atmosphere. Yesterday was amazing with the 600-plus individuals.
Well, Eric, this is going to be a little promotion for us, but we're leaving Atlanta, going to Beverly Hills, California, July 14th. Man, be nice to come on up to New York for Blackout in August.
Absolutely. We're definitely looking forward to that.
Just a little promotion. Yesterday, Beverly Hills sold out. We had 600 people here this weekend. Just thank you for your leadership, Mr. Hawkins. But you've got a fireball that just came up under your leadership as a director, a transplant here in Atlanta. Do the honor to introduce our most recent 1-star director.
Well, Mr. Bradley, this young lady was one of the first to lock arms with me on this project. She's a day one. One of the things that I was looking for was, that core 3, the egg, flour, and milk. She was definitely my egg. And you highlight the 12 pillars, but I will tell you 6 of them that got her to where she is today. And that's the loyalty, documentation, competitive spirit, coachability, accessibility, and her work ethic and work ableness, Mr. Bradley. So I want to turn the line over to Ms. Shalonda Bennett.
Ms. Bennett, are you with us?
I am here. Can you hear me loud and clear, Mr. Bradley?
I can hear you loud and clear. How was Atlanta this weekend? I know we have great meetings on Tuesday nights, but Blackout this weekend was strong, wasn't it?
It was absolutely amazing, and for me, it was surreal. It was of significance because it marked my 2-year anniversary of moving from New Jersey to Atlanta, so it just meant so much to me.
Ms. Yolanda, in the process of joining this company and becoming a director, you relocated from New Jersey to Atlanta, and I remember you doing it. Talk to me a little bit about your journey to directorship.
So, Mr. Bradley, before I even share that, I just want to give thanks to God. I'm extremely thankful for Him giving me the strength to fight my way through this journey because it's been extremely hard. I want to first thank you and Mrs. Bradley for creating this company, for allowing us just ordinary individuals to create something that's going to be a legacy for our children and our children's children. My number 1 director, Mr. Shedrick White, Ms. Trudy Scott, my sideline partners, Mr. Ernest France, Lisa Lee, Latoya Chen, and more importantly, Mr. Hawkins, for not calling me once, but calling me twice to introduce this to me, and Mr. Orlando Moore, because he lit the fire in me by first giving me that book, Relentless, and I didn't even want to open it. I remember you saying, don't read this book if you're not ready, and I was not ready. It took me 2 months to open that book after I came to Atlanta, and when I opened it, it just really kept me focused and just made me realize that I needed to just keep moving and keep going. And all of the Atlanta leadership who embraced me, there's too many people to name, but they all just took care of me from day one and poured into me and encouraged me to keep fighting. So that move for me, I stepped out on faith, Mr. Bradley. I packed my car up after divorce with everything that could fit in it, and I drove to Atlanta with no job. I gave up my job, I gave up my apartment, and I just knew that it was a choice that I had to make, and I left my children for a whole year with my ex-husband. So it was extremely hard, but I just kept pushing, and I knew that this company was going to be my savior. So when I spent this weekend at Planet Market, saved my life, it really saved my life.
I honestly have seen a lot of people, go through the trials and tribulations of becoming director. And I saw you, and I know it was very difficult, and we never had that conversation. But every Tuesday night in Atlanta, Georgia, whether you were ushering in other people's guests or whether you were receiving your gold pin for being a gold builder, you were always there. How important was
Bradley, I've heard it over and over again that you may think you don't need the meeting, but the meeting may need you. And it's so true because servant leadership is one of the core skills or, character traits that you must have in your journey to helping other individuals. So the more I plugged in, the more I started to receive what not I needed, but I was giving myself as well. And I know you said, like be empty, and I was just always giving myself to other individuals. And it's funny because so many people would come up to me and say, I thought you were already director. And I would laugh and say, well, you know what, I am. My numbers just didn't catch up with me because I've heard it a million times that you have to walk and talk and act like you're a director. And the more that I told myself that, the more I started to grow. I've grown so much as an individual in this company because we say it's a self-development program with a compensation attached. So I knew that the more I plugged in, the better I would become and I would grow into my leadership. And so that's what I did. And I just continued to grow and my time, it was my process. So by the time I was where I needed to be, that's when my numbers really started to catch up with me. So I never, looked at the fact that I had been here for so long and that I had not, achieved what so many other people have achieved because everyone's process is different. And I just remained grateful for the fact that, I was able to move here and I was able to, to stay with a friend and stay in her extra bedroom until, I was capable of moving out. So, plugging in is like the number one thing that everyone should do on a consistent basis because that's that lifeline. That's your charger. Like we charge our phones, we have to plug in order to stay charged and stay focused in the business.
I want you to think about this question, for a second, because I promise that I'm going to do a better job at letting people know that, directorship is not, an easy process. I'm going to be very responsible for people that think that they can just come in and, get 100 people. It's tough. Yolanda, what was the toughest thing? What was the toughest thing about, that journey in your business to directorship and planning marketing? You can think about that for a second. What was one of the toughest things?
The toughest thing for Mr. Bradley was just accepting those rejections and going through those no's without internalizing them because, we live our life and we avoid no. We try to avoid it. We try to avoid rejection. We try to take the easy route. But being in this business, it will show you. It will definitely expose your weakness to rejection. And I'm not even going to lie, in that first year, it was just tough for me to accept rejection. And there were times where I felt like giving up because 2.5 years is a long time to just stick it out and be consistent with going through those no's. But like I said, the more I develop as a professional network marketer, this is a profession, I had to start to, not internalize those no's and not internalize that rejection and just keep going. Mr. Bradley, if I look in my app, the last time I looked, I've sent out that video well over 500 times, and I can promise you that I've done a PS3 with every single person that received that video because I'm just loyal to the system, and I became loyal to accepting those no's, and I knew that in the end result that the numbers were not going to beat me. You can't beat the numbers, but the numbers can't beat you. And I just kept going through the numbers. So that was the hardest part for me, was just going through those no's, accepting those rejections, but still moving forward.
Yolanda Bennett, last question. Was it worth it? Not just, being director, but I see the relationships that you've built and the genuine, sincere relationships that you've built, with people inside the company, the personal development that I know that you gained, already, well educated, at university, but the personal development that you gained, from the universe of being in network marketing, was it worth it now that you are here? Was it worth it? Was it worth the pain?
Mr. Bradley, it was definitely worth the pain because now, as a teacher, I can enjoy my summers the way I want to. I always worked every single summer. I had to find a job to supplement my income. And this summer, I have been able to travel more than I ever have in my entire life, all while my income continues to grow. And it's an income that's residual. And now to know that I can pass this income down to my children, it's just the pain is definitely worth it, and I'm going to continue to go through the pain. I'm going to stay in a space of gratitude because I know in the end I'm always going to be blessed, and so I'm going to remain grateful because it was worth it because I've grown 100 times over, and I grew into my leadership, and I'm so grateful for that. And I just want to say to everyone on the line, it's not what you go through, it's what you grow through. So you have to grow through those no's, stick and stay,